Mm. Okay, ready? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final round of the World Chess Championship. We have Liren with the white pieces against Nepomniachtchi. I'm joined by Aaron.
Hello.
Before we proceed, Aaron, what is your chess level approximately?
My rating is around 1800.
FIDE?
Yeah,
Mm.
but I like to play also blades and they're a bit tired.
Most of my friends who streamed with me don't have FIDE rating, so they say they're rapid rating on Lichess or chess.com. That's like what people use so far. But FIDE makes the most sense. That's like what I used to think rating means.
Yeah, but you need to play for that, and I'm not playing so much.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Since COVID, even the professionals don't really play. So this is the position. Let's have a look at the analysis board, how we got here. So here we have this starting position. We have d4 on the first move, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4, the Nimzo Indian defense, e3, castles, and now a very trendy sideline, bishop d2, played by Ding. d5, and the rare move by white, a3, instead of the move knight f3, which is the main line. Knight f3, b6, and c takes d5, followed by rook c1. This is what most people play nowadays. Instead, a3, and now Nepomniachtchi didn't take and transpose to the main line after b6, takes, and knight f3. Jan played bishop back to e7, which is an interesting concept I haven't seen before. He sacrifices a tempo, claiming that this extra tempo of putting the bishop on d2 is not useful for white. Knight f3, c5, d takes c5, bishop c5. So this bishop has moved 3 times already. c2.
did you not depend on the c5?
No, but b4 is threatened, so probably yes. Maybe you can take on
No,
c4.
I'm talking for white.
Well, the problem is that if you don't take, I can take here or play knight d7 and then take with the knight on the next move. So, I mean, white should eventually take. And if you take with the bishop, it's a sign that it was a good move. So here, queen c2. Another option is c takes d5 and play against an isolated pawn, like this, with the plan of bishop c1 to d2. And then you lose the tempo, but at least you have won some time against this bishop, which moved 4 times already. Also what? Yeah, the isolated queenside pawn is a weakness, so white can try to play for an advantage. This is what I would prefer to play, c takes d5. It makes more sense to me. But queen c2 was played, and now white is indirectly threatening c takes d5 and some b4 ideas. So black rightfully took, which grants white another tempo, because he recaptures while developing. And now knight bd7, which makes sense. Rook d1, threatening knight e4. White has some alternatives, but this makes a lot of sense. Knight d4 and bishop c3 to follow. Now after bishop e7, which is a mistake, Ding returned the favor and made a mistake of his own with knight g5. Black should have played b6 probably, and then the game would have continued with knight e4, bishop b7. White gets the 2 bishops, but in exchange, black has activity, and he will definitely get one of the bishops back sooner or later with his active knights. So this would have been a very equal position, in my opinion. But instead of b6, Jan immediately retreated, like he played it very quickly.
Maybe you remember something and he missed something. Or...
Yeah, it took him like 4 minutes to play this move. By the way, there is an interesting psychological effect on these players because they have 2 hours with no increment. I didn't know that until like 4 rounds ago.
Yeah.
Like they don't have increment, so they start to play quickly psychologically from now because they're afraid to get into time pressure later with no increment.
Yeah, Ding is always he's got some time pressure during the match.
Yeah, and Nepomniachtchi on the crucial round 12 when he had a winning position with black, he had 40 minutes and he played quickly all the time because he was playing against Ding's clock instead of trying to actually find good moves in a complex position. He just gave the game away. And Ding had more than 20 minutes. It wasn't a real time pressure. He had like 25 minutes, and Jan just made like 4 mistakes in a row, and followed by a blunder.
Yeah, but it was a very complicated position. I don't know
Yeah.
if they invest the time sometimes, you invest some time, too much time in complicated position, and the best is to go with your intuition. Because
It's not the best. The best thing is to think a little bit and calculate. But Jan was just playing blitz.
he was blitzing. Yeah.
Yes, I think it was the tension that got to him. He probably wanted to get it over with. And he has this mentality of a gambler when he was in tilt mode. Like he was trying to.
Yeah, also against Carlsen, after he lost, he tried to complicate stuff and did some inaccuracy.
Yes.
But against Ding, it may work actually. I think against Carlsen you cannot do it because Carlsen would not take a risk. He could. I remember one of the game he could win easily, but he just simply simplified and win in the long run rather than wait.
Yes. So in this position, Link could have gotten a slight advantage with e4, threatening e5, essentially forcing the move queen c7. And after knight b5, queen b8 is forced. And a strong move bishop e2 followed by knight c7 would have led to material gains. Black has nothing better than to play b6 and then sacrifice the exchange.
We cannot do.
And bishop takes e4, queen d2, queen a8, and this position is slightly better for white, even though black has some compensation.
You cannot do I don't know, a6 to take the rook. But,
Could play a6, you mean here? And then I go knight c7 and bishop f4, and it's really hard to make a move.
I don't know, e5.
You probably take.
I cannot take them,
Yeah.
and
Probably the only move is knight h5,
knight h5.
and knight d5 makes a lot of sense when I think about it. Yeah, I don't see anything better to play. You take. I take on e7. And now I thought maybe knight jumps. I can just. What do I do? Rook c1. Can I trap this bishop for now?
So I need to bring my rook, yeah.
Yes.
Not pleasant.
And now I'm thinking what tactic to play. It's hard to find a move. You see, I'm trying to press all the pieces because the computer here shows the right moves with green. But there is no right move, only queen d2. That's the only move. I'm threatening this knight and this knight. Interesting. It's a very interesting line. Anyway, he didn't bother calculating it because he played knight g5 rather quickly. Took him less than 6 minutes to play it.
What is the purpose of knight g5? Because it's not.
Well, clearly he wants to go knight e4 and bishop c3.
Yeah, but
And he wants to go h4 against b6 ideas and against h6 ideas. That's what happened in the game. And now bishop queen c7, and now he suddenly retreated with the bishop to e2, which makes no sense. You might as well go to a2 and b1 if you go for this strategy. But
why two?
I think it's like basically an admission of going wrong.
Yeah, so you want to consolidate. You start a move and then you start the attack. Like now the Ukrainian will start the attack and then suddenly they draw back. It's never a good sign.
Yeah, I agree. Bishop e2, and in this position, b6 is probably the best move. Now we would expect bishop f3, bishop b7.
Yeah, now you get rid of your weak bishop.
And probably black is better here.
I guess so, because white didn't.
That's a very weird.
Material did attack. I really don't. What team that he sells to go to see when he played the bishop move, bishop e2?
Well, he probably wants to play bishop e3. That's the only explanation.
But this is exchanging the bishop is benefits for black, I
I
believe.
don't
Because
see any other idea.
maybe,
Maybe queen b1, bishop here. I don't know what to move.
maybe I suspect.
I don't know. Knight b5, queen c8, b8. Maybe that's what he's going for. I'm trying to understand, make sense of where the pieces are.
Do you
Knight
think
like
the
this.
reason is some concrete line or some more general
I mean, it's
strategy?
possible that he just wants to play something like this, but I don't understand what's the point. Like his knights are very weird. He wants to put maybe the other knight on d4. It's not working in his favor. Like this move h4, it's a very bad concept in this position. It's like black prepared against it. You know, he played bishop e7 in advance, so he's like going into black's hands with this knight g5 move. I mean, Ding didn't just doesn't believe in himself. Like if he plays e4, I mean, it's essentially forced. You're threatening e5, queen c7, knight b5.
Why FIDE is such a big of a threat?
You don't have where to place your knight.
Because what about e5 by black?
This gives away a lot of squares, and you can just castle.
So you claim that white is much
Also
better
bishop.
here?
Not much, but I like white's position. I'm not sure where to put the pieces, but bishop e3 makes sense. Like white is definitely better developed. There's no
What
argument.
is the evaluation about this position?
I don't know. But I would argue that this is a threat. The queen doesn't have a good place to be. But after e4, queen c7. Yeah, this bishop e2 is the key.
Yeah, maybe he didn't find it because it's tricky.
Yeah, but he didn't spend time. That's my point also about the previous two games, where like 2 games ago, where Nian played his move, like his quick moves that were mistakes. It's not that he didn't calculate well; he just didn't calculate. He didn't bother even checking e4. You know.
Yeah, it's more like gambling, yeah.
So here, Jan played the move rook d8, which you can see is inaccurate because it's not bright green. b6 is obviously the move. I don't know what's going on with them in this tournament.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not sure it's.
He probably wants to go knight f8. I think the motive here is that white trusts black, so he tries to surprise, like he assumes black is playing perfectly and he tries to surprise him and complicate the game.
Yeah, but if black is really prepared, so trying to surprise him can be backfire because
Yeah, if he knows the best moves.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Ding, that's my rationale. Like Ding knows that he has better development. That's a fact. He has more pieces. So he thinks maybe Jan prepared to all the logical moves, but this is an illogical move. So maybe he didn't prepare for it, you know, for the concept. Maybe over the board it will be difficult to solve. And then Jan in return doesn't think that his position is safe, so he over defends rook d8 and knight f8. You see?
yeah, because maybe Jan just realized that he missed something in bishop e7. Then it's
After b6, maybe he didn't like this queen b1 move that we showed earlier. What was it? Like here the move queen b1 followed by knight b5, I don't know, or some other move.
yeah.
Maybe rook c1 also with knight d5.
If indeed bishop e7 was a mistake by Jan, and he just realized that
It was, I checked.
and he maybe
No, he didn't realize it.
maybe you don't know, we cannot tell.
He didn't have time to realize it because the opponent played so quickly. They don't have time to be deep. You understand?
They blitz all this move.
No, it's a good move, just not in this position. It's like a typical move. But the thing is that this position is concrete, and they don't bother thinking concretely. Like I had this kind of structure, and bishop e7, queen c7, b6 is the plan, but you have to make sure that it works. And after this move e4, I'm sure they both missed this idea of bishop e2. Or at the very least, the idea of bishop f4 with the line we just shown here, followed by rook c1 and queen d2, which is not easy to find. But again, they didn't bother thinking. So
yeah, but Yeah, rook a7. It's not a natural move. You say okay because bishop c7. It's you cannot miss that. Okay,
Yes.
this is a natural move. Yeah, so you check for that. But I wonder, why
I
you
mean,
not
it's
give
not
you?
part of the preparation, that's for sure. This move. It's not part of what Black's preparation. This is not part of White's preparation.
Can you see chat or something?
Yes. So we are the only viewer right now. No one else is viewing. Because you see, we're not shown on Lichess for some reason.
Well, let's talk to the people that will watch it after this.
So Rook C1, and
But maybe we can post a link on Facebook or something. Yeah.
we can, but I mean, if you want, I can send you the link.
Why not?
Sure. Anyway, for the time being, we have a move after Queen C7 here. Bishop E2. He didn't play B6. He played this Rook D8, which basically is a sign for fear. And a Rook C1, good move by Dink, threatening Knight D5, Knight B5 moves for later. Not now, but it's a nice idea to defend the queen.
Yeah, but yeah,
And also, if the queen moves, then this queen is indirectly attacked.
you always need to be cautious because your knight is being threatened. So
On G5.
yeah, on g5. So
Yeah.
whatever some good move with the knight on f6
So
by black, and you doomed. So
yeah.
you need to check be extra
Yeah,
careful.
but
Yeah.
that's my point here. Rook C1, if you go B6, Knight D5 is a threat because if you take Knight D5, you get checkmated. You see?
Yeah.
So you have to take the queen probably, but then I can take on E7 and then take on C2, and it's fine. You don't have time to take both my knights. One of them will be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the direct threat, Knight D5, and yeah. And now after Rook C1, so
You
I
send me the link
send,
here.
now I sent.
Maybe we post it and we get
Sure.
started.
So we have Jan thinking at this moment. Both of them are playing. Oh, they took their time for the past couple of moves. So Ding, he thought for quite a while. His bishop e2 move took him 22 minutes, and then rook c1 was played instantly. H6 took 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. Yeah, Jan has been thinking for 5 minutes already, and yeah, it's hard to imagine what he will do.
Mhm. And are we getting the engine evaluation here?
You can press here if you want,
But we,
but I prefer not to see,
but
so just
yeah,
don't tell me.
okay, no, I just want to understand. I don't want to be. I prefer to be in the dark either. So
In the dark?
yeah, because you see on this grandmaster that suddenly they do the broadcasting, and when they are working with the engine, suddenly everything is clear, and all the players seem very stupid. But
Yeah, I agree. Queen b8 is the move. No, this is the correct move. Jan will probably find it.
yeah, you need to remove the queen somehow, no?
Yeah.
So,
Queen b8, Then
What other action you get?
knight d5 is one option. Bringing this knight back is another option. I wonder if there are any tricky ideas for either color. See, there are no pieces that like to move here. Only knight f3 or knight b5. These are the two main options. I mean, knight f3 makes sense now because, okay, b6, and then maybe, I don't know, it's hard to make a move. Just castles, bishop b7, d1, just playing with a random pawn on h4 for no reason. This is what I came up with so far. White playing for the draw. See my line? This is what I came up with. Queen b8, knight f3, b6, castles, bishop b7, knight g4, I mean rook d1, knight g4, threatening queen h2 later, so g3, knight df6, bishop e1, and white just tries to exchange everything before it's too late.
So you think that white should be try to equalize?
White is the one that should be careful, yeah. But that's a very boring position in my opinion. And he only played this e4 move here. Everything would be different. Look at this. Everything. I mean, maybe Jan wouldn't have found even this exchange sacrifice. He would have been in so much trouble after bishop e2. I mean, this is putting so much pressure on black. And if the only solution is to sacrifice an exchange for long-term compensation that's not enough, then imagine how bad it can be.
Yeah, if I see it in my game, I know I will be in trouble.
Yeah, for a start, he would think for half an hour. If Ding played this quickly, I would be proud. But it's better to think. Okay, so we heard the move, so we can assume queen b8 was played. No, knight f8. Seriously. So, yeah, it makes sense actually. It's a very human move because now if you go for this knight d5, then I can take with the knight, and h7 is protected, you see?
Yeah, and also now
Now you win a piece, yeah.
you need to start worrying
Yeah,
about it.
but
The knight.
our engine earlier, it's a weak engine that runs in the background. You see, it shows it's yellow. So we need to find why. Probably
Yeah,
queen b1.
maybe
No.
just knight g5 or knight b5 was a stronger one.
Yeah, like after the exchange of queens, you can take the piece. So what could be the move? I don't see anything.
Maybe just retreat with the knight, no?
Take what?
Retreat with the knight.
To e4.
Mm-hmm.
Then if b6, then maybe knight d5.
Or bishop f3.
Takes a knight, the other knight, and bring the knight.
I'll bring the other knight.
This one. So either d5 or e4 doesn't matter. You have to probably take with your queen. Knight take.
Taking, yeah.
And now white is can claim that he's slightly better.
Yeah, because of
the pair of bishops and the structure. Yeah.
structure.
So knight f8 is a very passive move. So knight e4 will create an actual threat, and probably the best move is to come back, which I suspect we won't see. Imagine the game continues like this, and then we actually have an interesting position. You know?
Yeah, we might actually. It seems that the two players are here to fight.
Yeah, but it's like they made an agreement. Let's make inaccuracies until move 20, so we can have an interesting game and get this over with.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but it's so bad every game here.
I don't know if it's bad because we are.
They're making inaccuracies in the opening, like almost every game. It's like something that you don't see
Yeah,
in the top
because
level.
they dare to deviate for the main lines, and if you do
Listen,
that, you always
the top players always deviate from the main line. So they all,
not in the world champions because just it's there you be more careful. In history, you see that they repeated moves do the better of thousands of games, and you they are more cautious.
at the same time, if you look at Carlsen's games, none of this crap would work against him. When Carlsen is black, he would just win half of the games and draw the other half. No one will get a win against him with this approach of getting a worse position and playing badly. It's like
I'm
they
not sure
know, it's like each of them know in what a bad shape the other is, so they make bad moves in order to get a game. It's like they both think they are better players, so they don't try to make the best solid moves.
Yeah, you think that against Carlsen they will be intimidated. So maybe it's good that Carlsen is out. We get a more exciting chess.
Yeah, for the fans, it's definitely good. So 94 was played, and now we already like White's position, and Jan, as usual, responded immediately. We can expect our friend to take with the queen, followed by some bishop d3. And now maybe b6? No? Doesn't work? Yeah. So you need to move the queen. And then what?
Yeah, when you play
Knight
h4, you
b1.
cannot castle anymore, right? Or you can.
Of course you can.
Yeah, but this is so. What is the point with h4?
Oh, it was here.
Yeah, here I understand the point, but after that, if you castle, then suddenly you're a bit weakened.
Yes. But he didn't want to castle, he wanted to attack.
Yeah, but let's say the game is settled down, and now I need to decide. Okay, I need to bring my other rook to the game. I cannot just stay there. So what I mean is that h4 is a very committal move.
Yeah, so Ding likes commitment in this championship. He's used to being behind. That's probably the only second time, in this particular part of the match, where he's not behind. And he really likes the idea of playing exciting chess. Apparently, it's been going every time he was white and played exciting. Uh, he ended up on top.
It's very surprising actually. It's because its character is more quiet,
Yes.
not so daring.
Yeah, but he's very emotional in this tournament.
No, he had a lot of pressure because it's the first time some guy from China is competing on that sport. It's
Yeah.
I guess it's getting a lot of attention in his
Yes.
country.
It's funny in the beginning, start opening ceremony in the press conference. Someone asked, "Have you met some Chinese leaders before this match? And how do you feel about the tournament?" And he was like, "I'm feeling nervous." And he evaded the first part, and then they repeated it like two or three times, and then he was like, by the third time they asked, he was like this, and then he said like, "No, not really,"
Not really.
but he
Okay.
didn't say it immediately. He
So
took his
what do you
time.
think?
I think that he met someone, but he can't talk about it.
Really?
I mean,
Maybe.
there are so many leaders there, probably.
Yeah, so now we need to think if he's a leader. Maybe he found someone if he's a
Yes.
leader, if it's not leader.
Yes.
Yeah, it can be complicated. I wonder if Nepo was met by Putin or something.
Probably, but they have pictures. It's not as discreet.
But I didn't say that.
Probably in a few years you will not know who were the leaders of China, if it's not the case already.
I didn't see any picture of Nepo with Putin.
Ah,
You
maybe
know, it's not even under Russian flag these days.
yes,
And
yes, the FIDE tournament.
yeah, the flag because
It's funny. This will be the first time the world champion will have FIDE flag.
yeah, but the FIDE will
They will put the FIDE anthem in the final ceremony.
It could be interesting, but this is why I'm not sure that we get sponsorship from, because it's not clear what is the status. Does it represent Russia? It didn't represent Russia now. I don't know.
So now it's white to move, and he's thinking. He takes his time.
Let's see if you
Yeah,
get
because
something
this is
wrong.
more likely to end up in a quick draw, and this is more likely to be a fight. So Ding is probably taking his time.
Do we see the chat here?
Where our chat?
Yeah.
Um, this is us, and only one viewer, which is us. Yeah. Maybe I should start a new channel. This channel hasn't streamed nor uploaded videos for a few years. Maybe it's ranked very low on YouTube. Who knows? On the YouTube algorithm. So, nothing is happening so far. And I would be happy to see him taking with the queen. Have you seen the game yesterday?
I see a short recap.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Which recap?
I think I like to see the Gotham chess.
Uh, we have a move. Let's hope for the queen. Where is it? Oh, this mouse is wild. Yeah, this. He took with the knight. How sad. That's very sad. We're gonna see queen takes c2, rook takes c2. Yeah, played already.
Okay, so
b6 probably.
okay, now we move to more quiet game. I'm sure the
Not.
valuation is now 0-0.
I don't think it's an actual game. Yeah, and bishop f3 will be played. Ah, no, he doesn't even want to go for that. He wants to go. It's too risky for him to play b6. He plays bishop d7. Now we can expect to see some bishop move probably. Bishop c3
Yeah, but
or bishop.
yesterday, they agreed on a draw in when there was still a game.
Hmm?
So it means that they're not willing to fight when there is no clear advantage.
Just like you said about the other championship. It's a game theory. Okay, so now bishop c3 can be expected. Let's say bishop here, rook d2, some exchanges, bishop f3, and some more exchanges. Well, I don't want to stare at this position for a long time, so how about we take an early break and come back in like 30 to 60 minutes and see what's going on.
Yeah,
In the meantime, everyone can enjoy this study by Yohanan Afek, which I think won Study of the Year 2000.
yeah.
Yes, Why to Play and Win.
I'm
So,
familiar with that.
so good luck, and we'll see you after the break. are back. In this position that we have right now, everything can happen, but the evaluation shifted quite a few times since the last time we stopped. So why don't we just go straight to the analysis board and get to the previous position we looked at? So I believe last time around we stopped around here when they exchanged queens. Queen takes c2, rook takes c2, bishop d7, and then they were going for a relatively equal endgame, probably slightly in black's favor because of the h4 weakness and the better development for black, but nothing dramatic. And then Bing made a dramatic decision here to play bishop b4, which is probably quite a mistake.
But it's moving the game out of balance, yes?
Yes, but you play for a win in a position where you are worse. That's my best way to describe it. Now bishop c6, knight c5, and black is just a pawn up. And here the black played bishop c6, d5, bishop d5, e4, and b6. Black just remains a pawn up. There's nothing white can do.
But is there any conversation about with the white dynamic?
I don't see any compensation. I mean, the key point that maybe Jan has missed is that after ed5, bc5, d6, knight d6 protects everything. Black is just doing great. Pawn up.
Because if you pawn up and the computer still says it's equal,
Yeah.
so it means that you are in a good shape.
Yeah, but here I don't think it's equal. I don't believe the computer will say it's equal.
So we believe that black has an advantage.
A big advantage. With the pawn up and active pieces. And this double pawn. So instead, bishop d5 was played, which is a mistake, because now after e4, bishop c4, 6. You can play the same b6, because now after ed5, bc5, I take with the b pawn. I'm not on b5, so I can take the b pawn, and I have tremendous compensation for the pawn. So bishop c6, b5, and now there's no time. Bishop e8, and he gave the pawn back. And now what is still slightly worse after the move rook d6, but rook c7 is slightly inaccurate. Ding immediately played this move rook c3, which is correct. And now Jan played another inaccurate move, rook a c8. I don't know why, but we can see that it's not green. Probably we can expect b4, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe knight a4.
what about knight d7?
Knight b7, wow. This is insane. It's a hard move to find.
Yeah, but let's say it would be 4.
b4,
And
I have knight d7. That's a problem. So I was thinking whether to do something else. So probably there's no other pieces. This knight b7 is the key move.
What about knight a4?
Do you want to try to understand the point? Knight a4 here. It's just passive.
It's just passive.
So I don't know what's the move for black, but for example a6 looks nice.
Okay, a6. And now after take, they always the threat of c1.
You want to take the rook?
If I take the rook, they take threat of c1.
Yeah, yes. Anyway, knight a4 is passive. Knight b7 looks incredible. Takes. Probably knight d6 is the point. Forcing bishop d7 at some point. And maybe securing the knight. Just king d2, rook a3. Then bringing the rook over. So white has activity. It's a very active approach. Not so easy to find for white. So that's the only way to probably maintain the balance. It's hard to believe that Ding will find it very easily, but he's capable. Like you sacrifice a pawn, he was already a pawn down for a while, but this time around you actually have a lot for the pawn.
Yeah, you have the compensation.
Yeah. Maybe rook c1 is a good move. And now bishop d1, same bishop d7, king d2. Also rook g3 makes sense. So king d2, rook a1, then rook g3. They're bringing the rook over. This feels like white is active enough to get counterplay. The bishop on he didn't find it, I think. I heard the move. He played b4. Oh no.
Oh, before we said it's problematic.
Yet another mistake.
Knight b7, yeah?
Knight d7 is to be expected, and now once again white will be a pawn down. It's like he doesn't believe in himself, so he doesn't look for active moves. But I don't understand.
Because he wasn't better.
Why not be a pawn down in this position? You see? This position a pawn down is much better than this position a pawn down. Well, I can only assume he has this idea. He probably wants to play rook g3, and after all the captures, to go rook a3. Ah, but then his bishop takes b5, so...
Yeah, but it's a drawn endgame maybe.
I'm not sure.
No, if you remove the pawns from the left rank.
It's not drawn because here I have time to go here and take.
Oh, I see.
So it's the opposite of drawn.
If you have the time to capture the pawn, yeah.
So, wow, b4 was played rather quickly. It's like they have this psychological effect because of the situation on the board. Yes. Yes. Oh, we have another viewer. That's nice. Chess AJ Shorts. Yeah. So we have another move. Knight d7 was played. I heard the move. What is thinking?
Yeah, so knight d7, and now white begin to be under pressure.
Maybe the idea was rook cg3, but it doesn't make a lot of sense.
No?
g6.
Yeah, but now
Black is very active.
I can free up the knight, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it is the best. Knight c5 is also interesting. Allowing rook takes g7, just going to f8 and taking, and now b5 is hanging, and rook c1 is coming. Also looks very dangerous for.
Yeah, it's not a big of a threat. You said on g7, yeah.
Yeah.
Without the queen, okay.
I wonder which move we can. Probably the human move is rook cg3. That's must be Dink's point. Otherwise, he just played b4 and gave up a pawn for no reason. So I guess instead of getting this position a pawn down, Dink prefers to get this position with material balance. I don't know. It's hard to make a move. Yeah, maybe here he has a good chance. I don't know. Now rook. It could be an idea in some lines if you move the rook. If you move rook h8, for example.
What do you mean?
If rook h8, rook takes e2 check, followed by bishop b5 check. And this. You see?
Ah.
Okay, rook g3 was played. I wonder if Jan thinks he's better. I mean, now Jan has a difficult choice between g6 and knight takes c5.
Yeah, we see that knight takes c5 is more dynamic. Give more chances for black, yeah?
People in the chat say that Ding blundered here. So probably G6 is just very close to winning already. I will be shocked if Ding loses this game with white. But it seems natural, like every move here is a mistake by both players.
So everyone can win.
Yeah, I mean, no, here Jan will not lose this position. It's already not unbalanced enough, you see? Jan is just, his position is just too good.
I played G6 instead of taking the pawn, yeah?
It wasn't played yet.
Ah.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. They say that Jan is usually optimistic about his positions, so he always think he's better.
Yeah.
So this will help him to make, I don't know, we think that king f8 is the main point.
King f8?
Yeah, to allow the capture, and now to take the knight and with the move with the king, and I am put a pressure on the b5 pawn.
Probably G6 is just a good move.
It is a good move.
Yeah. And so G6 is green, knight x5 is also green, but I don't know. Here, he did take. He gave up the pawn.
Okay.
People say counter blunder.
I don't think the every 2 pips with computer evaluation can be considered as a blunder. You know, people see the numbers there and think, okay, but it's not always meaningful because.
Okay, this was played. We can expect rook g8. And then f4 makes a lot of sense. f3 also. I mean, here there are already 2 little pawns to actually do something, right? Let's see, 2.
Why not to take the pawn? Now you can. You can.
Which pawn?
Why rook c2?
Bishop b5, I can.
You can take the rook, yeah. But
rook c2, as I said, the point is rook h8, you want bishop b5. So now, king f2 makes sense. Still use a pin. So you move your rook here. I probably need to move my rook somewhere. It's really hard to make a move. b6 is what the computer wants here. Probably to open a file.
What is the...
The idea is to go maybe rook b1. No. Oh, it's a very bad position. See, there are no pieces that should move. White is having a hard defensive task with the pawn down.
Yeah, why giving the pawn? Because the pawn is going to fall anyway.
Yeah.
So you think that now black is a pawn up, actually?
Black will eventually be a pawn up, yeah. But now Ding is having a very hard defensive task. Which...
Maybe we'll try to take the edge pawn somehow, but yeah, he has black an issue.
It's funny, when Ding is a point down in the match, he plays brilliantly. When it's equal, he's getting a bad position with white.
It was relatively fast here, yeah?
Yeah. No, I mean, not in the opening. This knight g5 decision was very double-edged, but bad. It's like he was desperate, even though he doesn't have to be. They tried so hard to get a game instead of just playing chess.
So, yeah, but even if this pawn gonna fold, how easy to convert? It's gonna be can be a very long uh, fight to convert. Very
Yes.
interesting ending. What is the clock situations?
Um, the clock, as we can see, is 23 minutes for Ding and 26 minutes for Yang.
And okay, so it's enough time for each move.
Yeah, but still annoying because it's really hard to, to defend the pawn. And how to give it up is a very hard thing to wrap your mind around.
Yeah, let's hope the game will not have some freezing moment again. This will be not very promising for him.
The computer here says that bishop d3 is the move.
Now,
Yes.
the idea,
Well, bishop d5 is not a big option. And maybe rook g8 is unnecessary. And they go king e7 to threaten bishop b5. Yes. And then probably just sacking the pawn somehow.
yeah.
Or rook g8, I don't know. Now there's no rook c2. So try to... Bishop d3 was played. So in the defense he is good. You prevent rook c2. You want to go king d2 next, later. King e7 threatening the capture of the pawn. Rook g8 defends it. Rook c7 threatens it again. And then probably just sacrificing it somehow. King moves, let's say d2. Bishop takes b5. And then just takes. And maybe this endgame can be held. You know, rook a1. And just playing this position. White is just active and trying to keep everything together. Another option is, of course, rook h8. So we can analyze it. Rook a1, rook b2 is a human option. You know, king e3. If rook c3, king d4.
But then,
I mean, white looks very close to a draw in this position. So after bishop d3, let's see, rook g8. He found the best defensive move. There's not much that black can do, as we can see. Just king g7. Rook g8, rook c7, king d2, takes, 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 and then some active move like rook a1. I think this is the way.
at least it's a draw, otherwise I will be a pawn down.
I mean, it's close to a draw. I don't know the evaluation.
But did but you still pawn down, yeah? It's draw,
See, there are not many good moves for black.
no?
There, not a single move is green. Just a5. Then I go rook a8, for example. Rook h8, maybe.
On J8 I do C7, no?
Rook h5.
Better?
Yeah. Okay. I should go with the rook to c5. No? Just take. And then, sorry. I don't see a single move. Only e5.
Oh, I see this position.
Yeah, and then probably we fight for a draw.
Uh,
It looks possible to make a draw. That's all I'm saying.
but here the e5 will fall as well, yeah?
When?
Now, for example,
I don't
mm,
know. White king
it
is
seems
more
dubious.
active.
I don't know why.
I think it's more likely to be a draw than a win for black in this point.
It's, even if it's a draw, it's not an easy draw, in my opinion.
Yes.
But maybe using we need to suffer to make the draw,
Yeah, maybe.
but must be quick. Do you prefer the bishops in the game for the black?
Um,
I mean,
Probably yes, but it's hard to take a pawn without exchanging them. Okay, rook d8 was played. Another inaccuracy.
yeah, but
Now we can expect king e2 probably. His idea is probably rook c3 and rook g3.
it's very difficult to be accurate in this
King e7
types of
is what we can expect.
endgames. Yeah, so I'm not sure how much the computer evaluation is even relevant here because it's so hard to find the right move because all the moves are
Hmm.
very tricky.
Yeah, and the rook endgame is not very promising. It does look very dominant for black, you know? It's very hard to find moves. It looks like I just lost, right? I mean, this is just lost. I don't know why the computer allows it. Okay, so rook d8 was played, and now king e2 was played. King d2 is another option to prevent rook c3. Rook c3 was played instantly. Now, yeah, rook g8 can be played followed by rook d1. That's probably the best defense. And then I don't know what to play with black. Let's see, only f5 it wants, with the idea of bishop h5 check. Rook g7, king f6, rook takes a7, rook d3, rook d3, bishop b5. e5 is probably a good move now. But it doesn't work. So you have to sacrifice the piece. That can be a good sign that he's lost. I
So
wonder.
in this position is a big advantage.
Wow, someone is writing game over. I don't know. I mean, in terms of the evaluation,
Yeah.
I wonder if there were blunders here. I mean, My weak engine here that shows the colors is not good enough to understand. We also don't have the starting evaluation. So what does it help to play green moves in a losing position? You know?
Yeah, but this is why we are not enabling the engine, so we can try to evaluate ourselves from the
Yeah.
class perspective. And I'm not sure if I will think that I'm losing here. If I was white, I think I'm not in a good shape, but losing it's something else.
Yes.
And you know the losing aspect maybe always will be with some tactics of with the bishop and do some checks and stuff like that that you can not actually see from far.
Yeah.
So and the H pawn can be maybe eliminated, and now white will have a pass pawn on the right rank.
Something changed here. I don't see the chat as much. Oh, because we were here. Yeah. So Ding is 17 minutes. So what can we suggest? Probably Rook D1 Rook G8 check is called for. Rook G3 is the other option. And that's about it. No other options.
Let's see. What is the black big threat?
Take a bishop for free.
Okay, so we can't move this bishop, right? So we must defend it.
Yeah.
So we have two rooks to defend it.
Yeah.
So we have d1. It's not an option.
But you don't want to move this rook because then I can take it anyway. With this rook, if I take it, you could list the rook G8. And now I don't have time for bishop B5. You see?
You don't have time for bishop d5 because I take you. So yeah, so if it doesn't seem too difficult to find.
No, that's one option. And that's the other check, followed by rook D1. But then also rook G3 is a move. But rook D1, F5 wins probably. We didn't find a defense against F5. You see, no piece can move. Nothing can move, and
What?
rook G7, King F6 we saw. Rook takes C7, and then rook CD3 is winning. Maybe rook B7 is the only serious defense, but now it says rook G3. Yeah. But this endgame must be winning. This must be winning for black. You see? Exchange everything, I'm a pawn up. Anyway, so
Yeah,
rook
but
D1 loses.
it's a rook endgame. So
No, it's a pawn endgame there.
it's a pawn game.
I mean,
One rock
in the position that I analyzed, after rook G3, for example, here it's a pawn endgame. I just exchange everything
Okay.
with an extra pawn.
Yeah, this is winning.
No, but so instead of rook D1, rook G3 is the main move. And then this is the line that we need to analyze. I mean, we checked it before. The point was king B7, rook G8, rook B3 is the move. Now, rook D takes D3 is a big threat. Why doesn't it work immediately? I'm just curious. Because I take here first. You see? That's the difference. And then I take here. So after rook G3, you go rook B3. Now you're kind of threatening to take here at some point. So I think he's going for it. Rook G8, we can expect king G7. Rook G8, King E7 was played. Let's hope for Rook 1 G3. We don't want to see a premature ending of the game. Our analysis followed with Rook to B3, and then White probably needs to find Bishop C4. I don't know what else. You see, nothing else is green. Just Rook H8, but Rook H8 feels a little bit weird. Yeah, Rook G3 was played. Rook H8 is the move that the computer wants to play now. Now Rook D4. With the threat of probably taking here. So Bishop C2 is the only move here, probably.
What is the threat with Rook D4? I don't understand.
Take. You have to take here.
Yeah, because of
take, and then check and take.
Oh,
okay. So instead, Bishop C2 is the only move here. But now Bishop B5 comes with check. That can't be good for. This can't be working. I can't believe White will survive this. Pawn down and all the rooks are on top of him. Yeah. Only Rook C3. I mean, Black is so active, he can do whatever he wants. A5, A4. I don't think White can survive this.
yeah, but the question is Jan will find it. And people probably see the evaluation rising up and cheering it. But in our children game, we didn't see we see the Jan misses a lot, so we can miss this as well. And I'm not sure if
E5, what? Another mistake? So Rook B3 was the right move.
yeah, it's not so clear. Yeah, it's not so easy to find this.
Obviously, he's planning Rook B4. Yeah, there is no doubt about that.
No, but maybe now White has a defense.
Yeah, probably. Rook H8 is the engine's top choice, as you can see. There are no other pieces that it likes. And now Rook D6 makes sense to protect the H6 pawn.
Yeah, what was the idea about E5? Maybe to defend.
Yeah,
he thought it's a clever. He didn't thought about the D4 idea.
No, maybe he didn't see far enough. I mean, it is not easy, and he wants to play fast and put pressure on Bing. It's very hard to make a move here. As you can see, almost every move is a blunder. Only Rook F3, which is highly illogical, you know. Probably, maybe F5 is a threat now, you know, with Bishop H5. Probably it's a very big threat.
What is
An idea. I don't know.
What is the big threat in Bishop H5?
Okay, so for example, so here, the idea is that after F5, it takes E4, takes, and Bishop B5 is checkmate. You see in Rook C1?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. That's the point. This looks interesting. Rook H8 here. Now what's the follow-up? Rook E3 also. The idea is probably to meet F5 with EF5 now. So this is the only defensive moves are aimed against F5.
Because Bishop H5 is such a big threat.
Yeah. But you see, Black has such an abundance of good choices, which is a sign that it's going to be very hard convert, because normally if you have one or two good moves, it's easier to differentiate and eliminate, the bad options from the good. But this way, the way it is now, okay, first of all, rook h8 is not a guarantee that white will find. White probably cannot find a single move.
Yeah, but maybe
Any rook move will fall into f5. For example, rook e3, f5, you see? Bishop h5 check is coming.
and this mate idea again.
Yeah. No, now it's not a mate idea. If rook e3, f5, and bishop h5 check, followed by rook takes g8. That's why I need to play rook g8, rook h8 here, because now after f5 I have this check. See, and then I take here with check, and I protect the h5 square. Rook h8 was found. Okay. Whew. Okay, now rook d6 can be expected to be blitzed out by Jan. In the chat, everyone are, what the fuck, he saw it. Impossible to find. People are quoting the stream, like the main commentators. Rook d6. Wow, the chat is going crazy. Rook d6 easy to find, people say. People are so happy about each move. It's amazing. It's really nice to see the chat. Some people also comment in Russian as if they are in the right place on Lichess. Everyone, like, you see 40,000 people, like, 18,000 writing in English. One person just comments in Russian. And then probably gets banned or something.
Why Russian is not allowed?
No, but it's funny. Like, you see, it's the same guy keeps writing in Russian.
History. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, rook d6. And now, what can we say? Rook e3 or rook f3 are the main moves against f5. The rest of the moves are probably losing. H5. What's the point? Wow, that's crazy. That's a crazy point. Why?
What if I just move the king?
I want to check. If I just play f5, I move f5 was not a threat to begin with. I see. h5 is a good waiting move. It's like a Zugzwang almost, you see? So now black is thinking here. You're not sure if he will play rook d6. He's probably considering rook d4. No, I still should have asked for ginger in my juice. It would have been better.
Rook d4 is not good enough for fun.
Rook where?
Rook d4.
Yeah. It has some threats.
What's it?
Probably something to do with this guy. And f5 also. Oh. They say vitamin C and ginger is the cure.
Hot chess.
Yeah. So no piece can move, as you can see. Only b6. Oh, takes. That's the point. Wow.
Check.
and take.
Oh.
This is lovely.
We will not find it.
Yeah, and rook d6. I have b6. Rook takes b6 is the point also. If I go here, check, you take.
Yeah, but these tactics are very difficult to find.
Oh, and by the way, this is not necessarily a win, just a pawn up, you know?
Yeah, it's a good. Yeah.
So maybe this is what Ding will go for. No matter where you move the rook, I'll go for this b6, you know? Pre-move.
Yeah, even for d6.
Yeah, that's what I just showed. Rook takes b6 is the main move now. And then you go for this endgame.
Yeah.
And you can probably save it. This pawn is weak. Yeah, black is passive.
So maybe I should let you take the pawn
Where?
on h5, on h6.
Where?
No,
Here?
no. Here? Yeah, here. Maybe do it
Rook
instead
h6?
of.
No, but then a4 and rook a5.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
This is what I say.
This is winning for black, even if the material is equal.
This is what I say. Not instead of the.
A4 you want?
Yeah. No. You have to do that.
Okay. I'll probably take. Here I might be in time.
And then I do that.
And then I come back. A3, A2, right? Rook A1. I'm not sure. I got more time here, you see?
Yeah, but we have to bring your king.
When I played h5 and you went rook h6, you don't have time to come back. That's the difference.
Yes. But you can now we can bring the rook to h6, yeah?
What do you mean?
After I do to a6, sorry. Now we can go here.
Yeah. Okay, rook d6 was played. So rook d6 was played. Now it's a question of Ding. With 9 minutes on the clock, having to decide between b6 and a b6 is also an option apparently. Why? What's the point? Rook cc6 is available, which is a little bit more solid with the pawn closer to the king. Interesting. So b6 is one option, and the other is passively waiting with rook e3. I mean,
Other mobiles,
every Russian schoolboy knows that b6 is the move that's going to be played. Yeah.
Yeah, but what make you think not to exclude b6 is because it's not trivial to exclude it in the first place. You need to look forward, yeah?
So
I want to learn, yeah, if I go here, I will never think on b6 because it will be out not on my radar because it's so strange move.
the way to look for it is to see that you don't have any active moves, and then you're trying to give a check. This check is very easy to see. You're looking for resources, right? And you're like, oh man, I have this pawn, it's so annoying. When you get to this point, it becomes easy. You see? So, I'm not sure if it's the best move, by the way, because after rook e3, we're still threatening this b6 for later, and it's not so clear what black can do, you see? Black doesn't have so many useful moves. So, rook e3, aiming against f5. Now ef, e4, rook e4 is check. So, yeah, rook e3 is a difficult move. But you see that b6 is not green, rook f3 and e3 is not green. I mean, what is? Oh, h5 is another option apparently, because now f5, rook g7. So h5 is also a very good move. It's not so clear what black wants to do next. Rook b3, and now I don't have b6 anymore. So it's not clear what white wants to do. Only bishop c4. But bishop c4 is easier to find with the pawn on e5. So bishop d5 is coming. I mean, this looks much easier to hold, right? Now that the king runs away and the bishop will be on d5. Like, white is actually active. So h5 is another interesting move. So Ding has b6, which forces the exchanges and tries to for drawing a pawn down endgame. Then there's h5, and then there's these passive moves. Well, I sure hoped that he will find h5. That's my hope. If he does, then it's going to be very hard for Nepomniachtchi not to crack under the pressure.
You think that's it?
After h5, because it's not non-forcing, it's very hard for black to make a move, you see? He has so many options, but only rook b3 is correct.
Yeah.
What?
You have 6 minutes, so
Yeah. And maybe this, like, b6 is tempting, because when you have no time, you just want to get to close.
forcing line, if you see the forcing
Yeah.
line.
And especially next move, you won't have it anymore, because after rook b3, rook protects the b5 square, so there's no more bishop b5 check, because the rook takes it.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how sure they are in their calculation, because do they have the confidence when they see something? Because they don't think maybe I miss something, let check, they triple check, and they don't. It doesn't have enough time for that. So if it's such a committed move like b6, you need to be very confident in your calculation abilities that you see everything, and
Yeah.
not so easy. And h5, it's less clear, less forcing, but you need to see the point here also, yeah?
Well, the point is to pass the move.
Yeah, you need to realize that it is like it's Zugzwang, yeah?
Like, black doesn't have any useful moves. I
I
mean, he does. He has only one. It's rook b3. But then you have to understand the bishop c4, bishop d5 is a very powerful idea, which generates enough counterplay for a draw.
What about check on these two?
I don't care. It doesn't change my evaluation. King f1, I will run away to g2.
I cannot take just a pawn.
Which pawn? Bishop b5?
Yeah.
You can definitely take it. I will gladly exchange. And with the pawn h5, now the weakness here is fixed. I'll go rook c3. I'm trying to come to c7 or c8 or whatever. I'll play f3 at some point, and king g2 f3. All my pieces will be protected, and my rooks are active.
That on this endgame, it should not be winning.
This is very hard to win because my rooks are active and my king and pawns are safe. And your king is passive.
Because if I remember, usually two rooks with a pawn up, it can be winning. But yeah, it's not 100%.
Yeah. After rook d6. b6 was played, as we can expect.
Oh,
He's going for the suffering. Oh, so the chat is going crazy. People are happy. Go Ding! Ding is the GOAT! 3 minutes to spare. So many.
Yeah, it is now when he said it, and the next move is relatively easy for him. So
No, it's fourth.
It's fourth. So.
You won't play b6 is irrational if you don't have the follow-up. Rook takes was played. Now rook e8 will be played instantaneously, probably. Bishop b5. These are all going to be played very quickly. Then probably a5. The pawn is good on a5 because I'm threatening a4, rook a5, and I'm protecting everything from here. So it's very likely that a5 will take place. And then rook c6, as we analyzed. Now they got an hour. Should probably take another break because they're going to think here for a while.
Yeah, but what? How many pieces do we have here?
Uh,
Too much pieces.
11. You want to use the 7 pieces table base?
Maybe, yeah. Need to eliminate some pieces for that.
Yeah. No, just wait. So I suggest we take another quick break. Go on and solve the same etude by Yochanan Afek. Uh, Asaf Shitri, thank you for the comment. I'm a bit cold today. See you after the break. I'll just mention one more move that has been played before. So King D7 was played rather quickly. Jan doesn't care about the time. So now Ding is probably going to think, and we'll be back in like half an hour after the break, more or less. So see you soon. We are back, everyone. Welcome. Not much has happened as predicted.
Seems to draw to me because it's very difficult
Yes,
to
let's
make
see.
any progress. Yeah.
Let's see actually what happened since King d7. So King d7, we had like 7 moves played already. So Rook f3, King e7, Rook c3, a5, Rook c7 check, King f6, Rook c6 check, King g7, Rook a6, very simple, Rook b2 check, King f3, Rook a2.
Okay,
So
no,
black is going to try to push the pawn as far as he can.
maybe insert h5 before to block
Now,
the king, the white king,
okay, let's play h5. Let's say 4.
the black king.
Let's say king somewhere. Doesn't really matter. Even f4 makes sense actually. And now it doesn't like it anymore. My idea was that after rook e1 I want to try king g4. I took king f5.
Yeah, to avoid the check.
Yeah. However, rook h1 or rook g1 is checkmate. That's a problem. I don't like my idea. So it doesn't work. Okay, the thematic way to play, normally speaking, is to put the king on g2 or something like that, g2, h2, and just wait. Or, for example, here, just wait, king g2. If you go a2, I go king h2. And generally speaking, in this structure, white is passive. He just moves back and forth, and with the rook he's waiting for the black king to come. And whenever the black king comes to b3, then it starts with the reign of checks. Only problem in this version is that the pawn f3 will potentially fall. I don't know if you know about these positions, but I'll show you. I'll show you why it's problematic for white. So king h2, let's say king f8. Okay, for example, something like this: king here, king here, king here, king here, here. Okay, let's say I wait. Doesn't really matter. Oh, what did I do? Okay, here, 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 here. Rook b8. Let's say rook here, rook here. Okay. So let's say king e3 here, something like that. This could wind up being a Suknan. Okay, let's try a different version with the king still on g2. Instead of king h2, I go rook a8 immediately. Okay, king d4, rook a7, king b3, same line, only this time the pawn is protected. So let's say something like this. Now I can go with my king to e1, you wait, and just go, no, not to e1, to d1 probably. Let's try e3 for a start. You just wait, doesn't really matter. King f4 maybe? Even rook d1 is interesting. How do I play for a win? I go for the pawn. This is easy. I shouldn't have gone all the way around. Yeah, I can just go for your pawn. You have too many weaknesses. Okay, so h5 is probably not the move. So white needs to find a plan against this rook a1 followed by pawn push until a2. So what are we going to suggest? Any idea?
I don't see any strategy actually.
Maybe king g4 immediately? No, you have rook f2.
What about I just move with the rook? Yeah.
This?
Yeah.
Where?
I don't. Okay.
Okay, a4.
I go. I
He
stay.
played king g3 in the game.
Okay.
Okay, you suggest rook a8, for example, a4.
Yeah, stay here.
Like this?
Yeah, what is
a3. What do you want? Okay, 5, let's say.
Oh, what is the threat
What?
of black?
I told you, the point is that, let's say,
No, you told me
rook
when
a1.
the one of was on h5.
Okay, in this position, you have to protect from king g6, so maybe you have to play h5. Okay?
Okay.
This was a threat, a big threat.
Yeah, but maybe black will do h4, h5 with perfect.
No, but here, if you let me, I'll just come and collect. So h5 makes sense. Okay, let's say I bring my king. You move your rook somewhere.
Okay, so you bring the king all the way, and he said I can block you. I can block you with my rook, my king.
Start giving check. Let's say, but now I have this. You see, here in this version I have king f5. So my point is that somewhere in the future, if you go for this line, I can just attack this pawn, go h5 at some point, start checking you until you're far away from this pawn, then bring my king along. That's a very simple plan. So white is just waiting. Maybe black should actually play h5 himself, as you suggested earlier. And then white is kind of caged.
Maybe it will be.
So white should probably just wait. The point is that we wait passively in this line. See? And then we try to understand what's going on. Okay, one, we just try to seek to understand what is the plan by black. Let's say they go for this, okay? Is black winning here or not? With the pawn on f2.
I don't see how.
Okay, let's see. You wait. Same line as before. Nothing changed. h5 was played. Okay, so here, same line exactly, only a little bit different structure. Okay, so if you go here, I give a check. Here I go back. Here I give a check. This is the best that you can achieve, right? King h2. And then black can go for rook e1 and try to attack, or king e2. Yeah. It says king e2. I can't help but wonder what's the point. King e1. Let's say just wait. What's the point? I don't see a point. He just wants to go back. So it's a draw, you see? So probably the best line here is just to go after the pawn.
With that pawn and take that pawn. Yeah, but
This must be a draw. Okay? Probably a very easy one as well. Let's go here and rook h5 later. Okay, so in the game, we have rook a8, king g3, h5 was played, and now rook h8, rook a8, all the way. I think that white's plan is to just stay passively. If a4, just rook a5, attacking this pawn, asking you politely to go f6, check. You don't want to leave your king caged here, so you probably go back. Check. Check. And then I'll just attack your pawn on f6.
can the black king somehow come to b7, b2?
Not enough time, I'll just take it. Go to b7, okay, I go here, I take, then I'll come for this guy. So it's fine. So rook a8, that's a relatively easy draw, I think. It's not so clear what black can do, except think forever. Let's solve the study. In the meantime, here, let's move there. So here is a position. It's white to move. Do you have any idea? Okay, look at it.
So what will be the idea? Okay, white have advanced pawn, but can get here some. Um, let's try with b7, probably queen c6, and now and queen and bishop versus queen. It's a draw, right? Not sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I thought maybe sacrifice the rook in order to queen, but it will not be enough. Here, here. Now we need. Can I do move?
Yeah.
Okay. Ah, he moved for me. Uh, thought about that and that, but I'm not sure it's a win. So you say it's not. Um, so let's think. Here we have that, which not so pleasant. Um, oh, what about this?
Move. Queen takes. Ah, if you do a queen,
What happened?
you made a mistake.
I made a mistake.
Yeah, if you do a queen, then I will just
Maybe
play um, queen d5.
five, b7.
You won't let me. So if you go here,
Okay, we can take the pawn first. We check.
no, there's a difference. I'm trying to remember. So queen d5, this. If you queen, check,
Yeah,
and then
maybe I cannot block the check. Yeah.
yeah, but how? Queen
Check here.
d5, queen d8,
Five.
queen d4, queen d7.
Probably I cannot block the check. Eventually, we will take the rook. So let's try
We
that
will
first.
check it later. Yeah, rook e4.
Okay. Now, if I do the queen,
Then I can play
rook,
queen check. You block,
yeah,
and then queen d8 check, king a7, and queen b8 is stalemate. You see?
I cannot take the with the king.
Check where?
You mean, okay, again, queen, check, block,
Queen d8.
queen d8. Now I can block.
When I come back,
Okay.
I repeat.
So, and I can do king a7,
Queen b8 check.
queen b8, check.
Stalemate.
I need to go somewhere with my rook. Yeah? Maybe here.
Wait, don't press.
Oops.
Yeah. Okay.
Here we go here. Check. I wonder if it will be like here, check. Here I can do check with knight, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
No, not the
Yeah, I
queen.
understand.
Yeah.
This is a win. Yeah.
This is a way, but
If we missed, I think another option. So I'm trying to remember.
yeah, but this stalemate idea was very nice.
Yeah, this position. And this is yeah. It's a, so it's not the one that won the award. It's a different one. I'm confused.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is nice, but not deserved an award, yeah?
I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I can find it later. Yeah, but this is the solution. So let's move back to the game. Well done.
Thank you.
So Rook, some back and forth, what can place in the game. So Rook A8,
Is not
Rook A1 was played. And now what he's thinking.
So, what was the white's biggest mistake in this game?
White?
Yeah.
What's the biggest mistake?
Was the knight
I mean,
g5?
probably the biggest mistake was this b4 move. Knight b7 was probably just fine. That's the biggest mistake. But there were things that led to it. Bishop b4 is a big mistake with the idea of knight c5. Then in the opening, knight g5 is a very big mistake. So these are the three biggest mistakes. This is the first one, which led to a worse position. Oh, queen e4 was probably also a very good move. And he was a coward and he went for this knight e4, trying to get a draw instead of taking with the queen
We
happily.
had also the bishop e2, yeah, instead of bishop.
I don't know if it's a mistake. Maybe it's the best move. I
Ah.
didn't check it. But knight g5 is definitely bad. Queen e4 was definitely fighting for something. It's not worse after queen e4. Not much at least. I don't know. The knight is threatening to jump. That's how it feels to me. And then bishop b4 was a very big mistake, and then later on, here.
I wonder what crossed his mind when he did bishop before. What do you think?
Bishop where?
Before
Which move?
the bishop before, yeah?
Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
Well, obviously black is going for bishop c6, and he cannot castle because he loses this pawn. So I think that he thought he was slightly worse, and he thought to himself, okay, if I'm worse, then I might as well generate some dynamic play, so I'll have a chance to be better. It's like here I can equalize by means of tactics, or potentially even get a better position if my opponent tries too hard. The
So
same
it's
motive,
practical decision.
the same motive of trying to unbalance the position, but in this case it's a bad practical decision. Probably a good practical decision was bishop c3 and just defending, Bishop c6
Yeah, but
probably.
he doesn't want just to be on the defense side, yeah, and suffer. He
Yeah,
wants
so here, for
to,
example, bishop f3. I mean, how much suffer is this?
yeah,
I mean, come on. It's not losing.
no. But he still want to be with some chances.
It's just a big mistake that could have cost him the championship
If Jan was player.
yes, and b4 is another very big mistake. And then, okay, Jan's biggest mistake is probably here, not going for rook b3 or there. What was it? Not going for bishop c6 in this position. Two big mistakes by Jan, which is more than enough to lose your winning chances in a chess game. Not only a world championship game, in any chess game against a strong player.
Yeah, but he finds a critical. I mean, didn't find a critical defense.
Yeah, but I mean, you shouldn't give your opponent the chance to find the defense when you hurt. It's such a big advantage.
I found it easy to judge, but it's not. I'm not sure how fair it is because we cannot. It's not so
Check
easy
them.
to assess if this position is easy.
Check them when they speak about themselves in the press conference.
I don't think I would give anything, but
Okay, now maybe f4 will be played. Sacrificing the pawn. What do you think?
what? How it helps?
Now I blockade your king.
Yeah, but you can do sleep, yeah.
You just wait forever. What do you do? Just wait forever and ever.
Maybe I can take on e4, yeah.
How?
Here I go to
But then you don't have a good move. This is what the computer wants to do. Oh, probably already losing. Never mind. F4 is probably bad.
what? I don't know yet.
No, the fact that I give away the pawn is just bad.
Yeah, but we don't understand it.
No, it just should wait with king g2. That's my guess. a4, rook a5, and do f6, check, and then go after the f6 pawn.
And I think that Ding is again spending lots of time in defense here, trying to figure out the best defenses idea. And once you get the idea, you will just be able to blitz up the moves.
Yeah. Probably it's going to be king g2, followed by rook a5.
Yeah. And I don't think if you the problem with computer assessment that in that position, I don't know, it's become very concrete, and sometimes there is the winning line which the computer just can't find, and you can see it in some studies that the computer cannot solve.
Uh-huh.
And maybe the new algorithms of neural network and AI can do better, but I'm not sure because they work differently in the sense that they are not just working in a depth, because Stockfish is working and just pondering on a certain depth and try to figure out all the possible moves, and if it's too deep, for example, let's say it's a depth 20 and the solution is came in move 30, you simply will not find it. You will not see it. And the new algorithms are working differently in the sense they are not just trying to cover all the possibility in 20 moves. They are do simulations until the end of the game, right? Yes, and try to figure out the more probable moves in every state.
Yeah.
So they can find either longer continuations and focus on them, and in that sense, they are more suitable to solve end games because they doesn't have a depth limitation.
I see.
But they can use tactics, because it's eventually going to probability, and so they give something and take something. They give the accuracy of 20 moves that the engine like Stockfish are covering the entire game tree if you give them enough time. But Stockfish is lack of depth. So, for example, if some, I don't know, my bishop can be very strong in 20 moves, and so Stockfish will not understand that, and they will understand because what they do simulations until the game is ends, and a lot of such simulations, as you can see, that very very long. But for that, they are obviously not covering a lot of nearest moves. So if some, I don't know, sacrifice or stuff like that you will not think of, or you think is not so probable, it can he can miss it. And the same algorithm is Go, Alpha Zero was the same algorithm in Go, and it was a match in Go, very famous between Lisa Go, I think, the name.
And Go.
And AlphaGo, and it's an algorithm, but Lee managed to win one game. And you think, how is it possible to win against it?
Yeah.
But if there is some glitches that the computer doesn't think on that move, and it was the crucial move.
Yeah.
But
specific branch.
Yeah. And the computer, for some reason, his neural network was not pay attention to that. So yeah, so this is also here in Endgames. But I'm not sure it's relevant here because I think this is a theoretical also. No?
I wonder if Alpha Zero will find this move that Lisadol played quickly. You remember that Alpha Zero beat AlphaGo 100-0? Did you hear about this?
Alpha Zero beat AlphaGo. Maybe, yeah.
100 times in a row.
And Lee was playing against AlphaGo,
yes.
not Alpha Zero.
Yeah, I think they call it AlphaGo Zero, the newer version.
Okay. Yeah, maybe they improve it, so now we will find it.
Alpha Zero program.
But I understand that Stockfish 15, for example, is better than Alpha Zero or Lila. Yeah?
I don't know. They didn't let him play Alpha Zero.
No, but okay,
better than Lila, probably.
And also Lila work on the same principles. And
Stockfish 15 is massively better than the version of Stockfish that lost to Alpha Zero.
I wonder what they changed, if they changed only the evaluation function, because when I checked on the previous version, they usually made changes in the mostly in the evaluation function. So this is the essence of the chess game. You have to take a position and just give it a score without any calculation. So there are a lot of factors there. And they improve it. And so I guess what they did, they compete against Lila, and by elimination, they changed the evaluation function to the one that gives a better score than Lila. Yeah, this could be a good idea. Just
22 minutes and we have a move. King G2, what we predicted after 2 seconds. Okay. What were you saying?
So they can give it and check if you have a coach like that, like Lila or something like that, that it's very good for you, because it's not so easy to improve when you have no one is better, no better engine. But if you have a better engine, and it's very easy for you to be to compete against them, and just do a lot of simulation and get this good engine, and become better and better very fast, because you tweak the variation function in the way that to give you the best results until you get the optimal. And
you mean you play against one of these programs?
Yeah, let's say you have Lila, and now you have Stockfish 14, and you want to be better than Lila, yeah? And so you take and change and give some criteria to the evaluation function, and now let it run, I don't know, 100 games, and see the result. And okay, let's say Lila beat you 80%. Now we change it. Now it goes down to 79%, 78%. And you do it if you have a lot of compute resources. You can do it very fast and get a good result. And it's not exactly like that because you always need to also to think of new parameters and I don't know how much now these days they are consulting with grandmasters. I know that Keramik was working with them, and, and they can give them ideas what to look for in the evaluation function and which parameters we can add because uh, when it's very tricky, yeah, to tell to take a static position and give it a score because it depends on many factors, number what 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 you need to think here. You need to on the safety of the king, on the center of the king, on the center of the board. Yes, no. You know what the big debates between modern chess and old chess. If you need to on the things you need to be focused on.
Mhm.
But yeah, eventually it's challenging.
It's okay situation now. Jan is blitzing out his moves as usual, and Ding is thinking.
How
Like
many moves?
Ding thought for 22 minutes, and since then has been playing fast. Now, on move 51, in 9 more moves, they will finally get their increment. 8 more moves.
Right. I don't see it's very difficult here. Yeah, I guess I'm going to leave 0-0.
No, no.
I give the some
Eventually.
advantages, yeah. You know what? Because the computer cannot see until the end, but it didn't find any way to progress. So we give because there is in chess there is no meaning for advantage. There is
Yeah.
either 1 or 0. There is no meaning for point for 2 point or 3 point or I don't know.
Yeah.
This is just evaluation, but
Mm.
eventually someone have to, either you have the first line to win or
Mhm.
opponent can force a draw. So
Yeah.
um, it just means that you cannot find any move, so you stay with the advantage, but it's not like if they keep going like that, it will be.
I wonder what is the plan here for
That is the reason plan.
black.
It doesn't seem to be there is a plan, but yeah, he cannot lose, so he can continue. Why not?
Having a little bit more. I'm very curious. I'm very curious what's going on.
Maybe. What about bringing the king like that?
Do you want me to turn off the curtains?
Okay.
Yeah.
What about bringing the king? Is it impossible?
Yes.
What do you think?
No, that's surprisingly, we give it away. And we were supposed to use it less. It's made of glass. Why they were giving this away?
Is it possible to bring the king to the Liren?
Wait. So let's see. Here, we're looking for a plan to make a draw. And
No,
and,
I want
and
to plan to win.
okay, winning with black is not difficult because you have only one plan. The challenge is to draw with white. Like if white, let's say, takes on e5, for example, we don't mind taking and just winning. And if he doesn't do anything, we do have a plan. We have one plan, but it's very effective, right? We go here,
Yeah.
and then go from here to there, and take this pawn. Okay?
No, this pawn I will defend, yeah?
Okay, so that's what we have to check. I mean, there is a reason.
But why here?
I have to just say one point. There is a reason why here Dink was thinking for 22 minutes and now he's thinking for more. There must be more to the position than we can understand. And now he played the move King F3 with 13 minutes on the clock with no increment, I remind you. Okay, so we have to analyze. King F7 is or A3 for example, is the most interesting continuation. You want to suggest for white or for black? Okay, so I'll take the challenge of suggesting for white. Let's say rook a7, king f8. Now I go back. I can't do anything. White is completely passive, you see? So probably here, maybe I should probably put my... and here I don't have time to even take. And actually with the pawn on a3 it's even more dangerous because the king can hide from the check. Here the king can hide, so it could be winning. So my question now, first of all, I'm not as sure as I was before that this is a draw. Now Jan is thinking he's most likely going to play a3. There is not any other option. And it's very likely that white will just play rook a7 because again he doesn't have a move. Yes, this is played. King f8. And now the question is like, what does white do? What does he want? Can he put the king here maybe? On e2? Maybe this is his idea, that if you go here, he wants to bring his king to the pawn to defend and try to exchange something for this. But my point is that here, if white does nothing, he will probably lose.
Different from our previous assessment, no?
I don't remember. Like, okay, our previous assessment was with an h pawn on h5. White had the pawn on h5 and black had the pawn on h6. It was a big difference. And now, okay, so a3 was played, rook a6, king f7. Okay, white should probably, like, the problem for white is that the pawn stays on a3. Black just wants to go forward. Maybe white waits, king e7, white keeps waiting, and now there's no time for king d7, so now I have to go a2, okay? This is smart. King g2, king d7, now we are back to the previous position we had analyzed. So king b7, I have to go rook a3 or something, king goes up, doesn't matter where I go, king goes here, king goes here, rook a8, king goes to b3, rook b8, king somewhere, rook a8 back. And now the point is that black is supposed to try to go for something like this. Now king f3 makes a lot of sense.
Moving to A2 is obligatory.
Sorry?
Moving.
Obligatory, yes.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it, then I take on f6.
Take on F2. Well,
For example, if you go here, I take with the pawn a3.
then you can go to B1.
Here, I go back. I took a pawn for nothing. Anyway, a2 is the main plan, and then later, that's what they're trying to figure out, if here, black has a way to make progress or not. That's the position that they need to understand, both of them. Let's say I play rook a4, king d3, and then king f3 is probably a good move
I see.
to keep everything protected. And eventually, black will have to give up the pawn.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But you rushed a little bit. Here I might give you a check first. And another check. And only now I take. And the difference is that now after you take, I just cut your king out of the game. Or I go to even a6 to attack this guy. I don't know.
I'll check.
Probably rook a6 looks good.
F4.
Yeah, I'll go here. Your king is cut. h4 for example. Then I just bring the rook from behind. Maybe f3. Just to keep everything under control.
And this is
Actually, I'm not sure now. Let's see. Go here. f5. I don't know. It's hard to. Let's say rook a7. King here. I don't know. This looks to me like a draw. Rook h7. I mean, how can black make progress? You know, I don't see anything. There's no way to make progress that I can think of. Just a draw. Anyway, so in the game, he went king d3 now. Wait. King f7, he went king e3 with 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Interesting move. So king e7 is to be expected. Black doesn't have many other choices. And then probably king e2 or something. It's hard to imagine why doing anything other than moving the king. And then a2 is kind of forced, and then what we saw. I'm surprised that Jan is thinking here.
you try to find.
Yeah. So king e8. So he allows the capture of the pawn on f6, which is an interesting trap, because the king is on e3. So I can only assume
Can give a check.
that in the case of a check, he wants to go to d7 and get closer faster. Whereas in the other move order, king e7, there must be some difference. Like here, maybe there is something that he doesn't want to allow in this move order. I don't know. It's hard to predict. But he went king e8. Now we can expect Ding to just go back to f3, and we'll see king e7 probably. Maybe he thinks this is a Zugzwang, you see? Maybe he wants to get the position with the king on e7 with whites to move. And then if king e3, I can go king d7. King g2, maybe he wants to go for rook e1 at some point. I don't know. Not now, but a2 will eventually be played. There's no choice. We can expect king f3, king g2, and then a2.
After 16 Wolves, I think they have increment, yeah?
After move 60, they have 15 minutes more, I think, and then 30 seconds increment per move until the end of the game. Yes. I'm curious how many viewers each of these leeches guys have. Wow, there's so many streamers. Only I am not here. So this guy is famous, and he has 1,500 people. This guy has Grishuk and Svidler speaking Russian. He has 700 people. This guy, 200.
Yeah.
This one is Spanish, I assume. 7 watching. I have no idea what this is. Anyway, 2 watching, just like us. Russian. So guys are fine. 90 people watching this person. Many Russian streamers.
Yeah, I think the Russians still don't Trojan, yeah. It seems like they need some achievement in any field.
And 47 on the Russian. Oh, everyone are in Russian here. Seem to work just fine. So King E2 was played. And he also doesn't want to get any kind of Zugzwang. He wants after King E7 to play King F3. I don't know what's the difference, but they're just struggling over this weird tempo. So now King E7 was played rather quickly. And now Dean with 7 minutes will probably play his King F3. And then A2 is forced. There are not many other options, you see. E2, and then we'll see the rest of the game played rather quickly with King stepping back on G2. It's interesting to put the king on E2, not to give away the E pawn. Wonder what's the point. Let's see. Is the king on E2 better? What do you say?
Seems like that. You blocking the blocking.
It's interesting with the pawn on F3. It's not so good, but yeah. Yeah, now I don't have this king D4 idea even. That's for H1, but it's definitely not enough. This can't be enough ever. Let's go here and I'll be in time for catching this H pawn. And I'll attack this guy as well.
Yeah, just
So, King E2, King E7, King F3. And now Black is presumably thinking. I don't know what to do. It's like they're just wasting time. They're just stalling. We don't want the people in the world to have free time. They know how many people are busy watching them. Let's see the official stream. The 42K. Wow, 86,000 people. Did you see that? It's not the peak? What do you think was the peak?
It was about 100.
Did you see 100,000 people watching here at any point
I think so.
today or in general?
No, yeah.
Wow, it's a big number. It's like I think the most people that saw Caruana at once. It's like I imagine like 1 million people knowing about Caruana and how he looks and how he speaks. It's a new era in chess. Didn't used to be like this.
Yeah, the Fischer's time, everyone know with Fischer, with
Yeah,
Pascal.
because he made it to headline news,
Yeah,
but most chess players don't, especially not number 4 in the
yeah,
world
everyone thinks that Kasparov is the world champion. Yeah,
by name. But most people didn't know how he looked,
yeah.
as far as I can tell. Wow, that's an interesting situation. So many viewers in such a boring position. I wonder who's the most famous chess player of all three here: Ding, Yan, or Caruana. Probably in one TV broadcast, Ding becomes the most famous chess player in the world.
Yeah, in China.
Yes, if he wins.
I don't know how many people in China are interested in chess, but you see that
I mean,
a lot of more new Chinese guys are now joining the war.
it will definitely be on the news there if he wins.
So, yep, probably chess is also blooming in China now. Like in the rest of the world,
I
now
hope Ding will say log into Lichess like somewhere, and then all the Chinese people join, and then the Lichess site probably will crash. Rook a2, king a3. They just are they buying time? They're enjoying themselves here. This what's What's the point? Back doesn't want to end the game.
I understand that when rook go to a2, a1, and the pawn go to a2, it's probably a draw. And he tried to make something work here. But I believe they will agree to draw in a few. Unless we try to take that one, but I think this one is very easy draw,
Yeah,
and they know it as well because it's
yeah, but they will do
something
it.
that they learn. Yeah,
They will do it just for fun. I don't know what Jan wants. I honestly don't understand. What could he possibly consider here? It's like besides Rook a1, there's absolutely no move. Like there are barely pieces that can move. It's like he's just stalling, you know? Because you won't move your king now, so you don't have any other square for the rook. It's like he plays quickly besides the times where
yeah.
he can
Maybe
play.
he was over optimistic, and now he realizes this draw, and it's very hard for him psychologically to accept the fact that it is a draw. You know, sometimes you think, no, I'm winning. He sees something, and now just what, and he struggled to change. Yeah, he
I
started.
didn't want this game to be the longest one. It was annoying because okay, Ding gave him some chances. He just botched it. And Jan is thinking.
Yeah, I think it's more like accepting the fact that this is a draw. Forcing himself to acknowledge it take time. You have the time.
I wonder why they changed the team of the streamers mid-broadcast.
It's always right.
Yes.
Give the chance for the both, but I like Anish more.
Mhm.
He's the most sharp, and I think Arwana is more politically correct. Yeah, he's not talking about the
He's American.
yeah, it's also personality things. Yeah.
Nothing happening.
בגלל שזה יש לסיים עכשיו, because it's almost 100% available.
Yeah.
Not a lot you can add to the viewers. Yeah, talk about the match in general. What do you think about the match?
It was exciting and very low level for
Low
their
level,
standards.
yeah?
For their standards. For me, it was good because I can finally understand what's going on. So
You think that both players show the same level of chess?
um,
It seemed to me that Jan was a bit better, you know?
yeah, Jan was definitely a bit better, and therefore he was leading for more than half of the tournament. You know, he won and lost all the time only after a game or three games. So it always felt like Jan was the one who was close to winning, and he was the one who was giving away his chances. Jan played better, but Ding played more brilliantly on the occasions where
he was willing to make chances. I think he gave more novelties, yeah?
Yeah.
But he played the London, he played the French.
E3 Knight BD2 called the Cola system.
The Cola system, yeah, it's refreshing.
Yeah.
Just Berlin, and
Yeah.
some deviation in move 20.
Yeah. It's just very annoying for me to see how badly people give away points here. Like round 12 is probably one of the worst games I've seen in World Championship history by both players. Although it was a very complicated position, so but the fact that Jan mixed the move order in the opening and then Ding didn't exploit it, he used it just to get the complicated position instead of getting a much better position. And then in the complicated position, Jan just decided to blitz out many moves for no reason. It's like he couldn't keep up with the pressure. I don't understand why Jan is not making a move. Look at him; he's not even thinking. It's like he's sleeping.
Oh yeah,
It's like he's cursing himself.
Yeah, wow. What the name is? I think he thought he's winning.
He had the chance once again to like all the chances. He got like 5 or 6 different chances, and he blew all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. He probably hates himself after this tournament. Jan is very unforgiving towards himself. I hope it will fuel his motivation for the next years.
I wonder, if he, if he will win the match, we will see him definitely against another competitor. Maybe it will be Magnus or someone else.
So he just doesn't want to make a move. I mean, we can end earlier before the game ends, but once we are certain of a result. I'm not sure if we are certain. Do you want to analyze a bit deeper? Maybe we can check. Or we can.
What? When taking the H5, the H pawn?
We can also use a proper engine if you want at this point. I'm sure
we will see
in the
that
cloud. Let's check. So in the cloud, I'm sure we will see depth 72,0,0,0,0 everywhere. You see? The viewers can't see all of it, but yeah. I'll try to make it more visible. Now you guys can see the engine a bit farther. So the evaluation is a draw. It doesn't seem like anything is about to happen. So let's play rook a1 just to make a point. King f3, a2, king g2, for example, king e2 like I said earlier. Now, let's say king d7. White goes back and forth. I assume that the engine will agree with... Oh! Wait, what happened there? King e2 here allows f5. Only f5 is winning. So I should put my king on g2 because here I get e3 followed by rook h1 and rook h2 check. Now this is the only trap. So a2 I should probably go king g2, not king e2. So if Jan starts blitzing out moves, maybe he can generate this last trap, you know? Otherwise, I don't see anything changing in the evaluation. And here king e2 works because f5, ef5, e4, I can just go f6. And in fact, it is white who is winning suddenly. There's no time for e3. Yes. So we said just these lines here and there, blah, 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 whatever. Not f5. So let's say king b3, rook b8, king c3, rook a8, king d4, rook a4. Yeah, boring. Eventually, rook h1 will be played and rook h4, and then a draw will be agreed after king e3. There's just nothing to even search for. Just put my rook here, or on h7. I can wait forever. Yeah.
So we're just waiting for them to get that?
Yeah. So, in the position on the board, Jan is thinking.
Now he's thinking.
Yes. King e3. Okay, so I think that we can conclude that this game will end in a draw and release ourselves. We didn't plan for to be here more than 5.5 hours since the beginning of the game, and we have plans for later, and the sunset is about to happen. So there are more important things in life than watching...
waiting for the handshake, yeah.
waiting for the handshake, yeah, exactly. And I mean, yeah, we will be here for the later rounds, hopefully. Tie breaks next time.
Who do you think is the favorite?
Ding.
Ding.
Yes. He beat Carlsen once in a rapid match in the US.
Really? So is he good in blitz?
In blitz, Jan is a little bit favorite.
So, but in the rapid section, do you think?
Ding is one of the best in the rapid section. His style is perfect for rapid. Yes.
Really? So
I hope he can get a good grip of his emotional state. But yeah, once he's focused, I think he's unstoppable. So we will be here for the last tie breaks round. Thank you all very much for watching so far.